This is my spiced fish pie and it's made with some beautiful fresh fish, a little bit of spice, and it's all topped off with some sweet potato mash. To start, what we're going to do is just heat up a little bit of oil and we're going to get all of those flavours cooking away. So a little splash of oil, and the spices that I'm going to use are fennel seeds and mustard seeds. I know it's a little bit unusual to use spices with a dish like this, but it's a really lovely way to jazz it all up a bit. So just let that oil heat through, and as soon as they start to crackle, as soon as they start to pop, you can go in with the onions. You can hear that? Just pop in your onions. Give that a quick stir. Now we want our onions to cook through, we want them to go translucent, but we don't want to add any colour to them because you still want to maintain that sort of delicacy of this dish. Into that I've got 2 cloves of garlic, finely chopped. I've just got some baby spinach here and I'm just going to roughly chop it. You don't need to be too precise. It's a really nice way to introduce some greens into this dish. A good handful of spinach and fish goes really well. So once they've gone translucent, you can see that they're ready. I'm just going to pop the spinach straight in. Give that a stir. And you know, you can add as much or as little spinach as you like. I like to put a fair amount in there. And then I'm going to add my chilli. And as I said, if you don't want to add chilli, then you don't need to, but I think it works really well. And all we're doing is just wilting that spinach, just getting it a little bit soft. And then we're going to pour in the cream. Now, if you wanted to go down a slightly healthier option, you can by all means use creme fraiche. It's all about taste today, so I'm going for some cream. And look at those beautiful colours all starting to come together. Whilst that's wilting and cooking away, I'm just going to come over to the fish. I'm going to use a nice combination of fish, and I think it's really important in a fish pie to get lots of different flavours and textures into there. So I'm using a nice robust white fish, just as base. Then I'm going to use a smoked haddock as well, and that gives it a little bit more depth, a little bit more flavour. I also like to use salmon because it's really oily, and again, that gives a slightly different texture. But to top it all off and to bring everything together, I like to use some prawns as well. So I've got some lovely raw prawns in there as well. So before I put the fish in, I'm just going to add a little bit of pepper and a little dusting of salt just for seasoning. I'm happy with that, so I'm going to pop my fish in. Just be gentle with it. Amazing. Look at those colours. They all look incredible. So just coat them with that lovely creamy sauce. Those flecks of green of the spinach just looks beautiful. And that will take 2 or 3 minutes just to cook through. And then we're going to pop that straight into our casserole dish, ready for the topping. To top off the pie, I'm going to use sweet potato mash, which is a little bit different, but it's really lovely. So what I've done here is I've pre-boiled, or I've peeled and chopped up some sweet potatoes. They've been boiling just until they're soft, so you can see that they are ready to be mashed. I've got myself a very fancy little ricer. If you don't have a ricer, just use a potato masher. It's okay to do that, but my husband likes his mash really, really fine, so just as a special treat, I'm going to use this. So all you're looking to do is just put your potatoes through. When it's all mashed and it's this lovely consistency, I like to put a little bit of ghee in just for a bit of a buttery flavour. I'm just going to pop that back on the hob just to heat it through just a little bit. And whilst that's heating, I'm going to chop up some spring onion. Pop your spring onion straight into the pan. I'm also going to put in a little sprinkling of chilli flakes. I'm going to add just a pinch as well of some garam masala. Stir that through and take it off the heat. got a lovely sweetness to it. And now we're ready to make our pie. That's perfect. Look, it's sizzling away, it's all crispy on top, and it's just oozing all of those yummy flavours. Make sure actually that you put it on a tray when you put it in the oven, because otherwise it will spoil your oven, so just make sure it's on a base tray. Anyway, there we go. Oh, it smells amazing. Look at those beautiful colours. You get to dig straight in. If you've enjoyed this dish, I've got some other wonderful fish dishes such as fish bagare and masala prawns. Tap the eye to see these recipes and make sure you subscribe to my channel.